Welcome to the battlefield. You're watching Wrestling Reality Hub, your front row seat to WWE Mayhem. Subscribe and let's drop kick into the headlines. When news of Becky Lynch's pregnancy first broke backstage at Monday Night Raw, the wrestling world immediately erupted with excitement, curiosity, and endless speculation. Because this wasn't just another superstar update. It was the kind of personal announcement that changes careers, storylines, and the emotional heartbeat of WWE's entire fan base. And as soon as whispers circulated about Seth Rollins' private reaction, fans across the internet began debating, arguing, and passionately analyzing every rumor they could find. Why Seth's reaction became the center of attention. What fueled the fire wasn't simply that Becky was pregnant, but rather the claim, passed around through forums, social pages, and backstage chatter, that Seth Rollins might have reacted with frustration before joy, which instantly positioned him at the center of a heated fan debate, even though no verified recording ever surfaced, and most insiders insisted that real private conversations between the couple were respectful, calm, and far less dramatic than online rumor mills suggested. Understanding the pressure wrestling couples face. A huge part of why this moment became so explosive is because WWE couples operate in a world unlike any other, where personal milestones collide with tightly planned creative arcs, long-term booking strategies, global promotion cycles, and an audience that wants both authenticity and entertainment, forcing couples like Seth and Becky to balance being partners, parents-to-be, and performers with careers built on physical storytelling and non-stop schedules. The rumored creative plans that intensified speculation. Before Becky shared her news, insiders claimed WWE had been crafting a massive dual storyline for the couple, a long-term arc involving individual championship pursuits, marketing campaigns built around their superstar partnership, and even the early discussions of a possible documentary-style project. And when fans heard that months of creative planning might have existed behind the scenes, it sparked the idea that Seth's rumored stress wasn't about Becky's pregnancy itself, but about the sudden shift in the professional roadmap the company had been building. Why fans quickly chose sides. As rumors spread, fans split into two passionate camps. One side believing Seth had a right to feel momentary professional concern in a high-pressure industry, and the other side believing that personal joy and support should overshadow any career considerations. And this division reflected how invested fans are not just in storylines, but in the real people behind the characters they love, proving how blurred the lines between WWE and reality often become the truth about the so-called leaked audio. What turned a simple backstage moment into a full-scale online storm was the circulation of supposed leaked audio, which many fans treated as fact despite no reputable source ever confirming its authenticity. And ultimately, multiple reports indicated that the clip was almost certainly fabricated, demonstrating how quickly misinformation can spread in a passionate fan community, where even fictional drama can feel believable if it fits the tension of the moment. What actually happened backstage. According to people familiar with the environment that night, the real interaction between Becky and Seth was warm, supportive, and far more grounded than anything being speculated online, because Seth was reportedly excited yet naturally curious about how upcoming plans would shift, while the creative team calmly worked with both superstars to restructure arcs without panic or conflict, painting a picture of professionalism rather than chaos. Why fans found the fake drama so convincing. Even though insiders debunked the audio, many fans initially believed it because the fictional version highlighted struggles that wrestling couples genuinely face, such as the pressure of maintaining momentum, the unpredictability of long-term booking, and the challenge of balancing family planning with a profession that rarely allows downtime, proving that sometimes a story spreads not because it's true, but because it feels emotionally familiar within the wrestling world. The real human challenges behind the spectacle. Wrestling couples deal with a complicated blend of personal and professional expectations because their relationship exists under cameras, schedules, mandatory travel, and creative demands that affect not only themselves but also fellow performers, production crews, and millions of fans. which means even joyful milestones like pregnancy require delicate coordination and understanding that outsiders might overlook. Why supporters of Seth felt the conversation was fair. Some fans defended Seth not because they believed the leaked audio, but because they felt it was understandable for a performer at his level to briefly think about how the announcement would impact their shared storylines, merchandise opportunities, and long-term arcs, arguing that acknowledging logistical challenges doesn't diminish emotional support, especially in an industry where careers are unpredictable and injuries or surprises can instantly change everything. Why Becky's supporters felt protective of her. On the opposite side, many fans felt defensive of Becky because she is widely viewed as a trailblazer who lifted women's wrestling to new heights, and they believed any negative reaction, real or rumored, undermined her tremendous legacy, which explains why people reacted so strongly, not from anger toward Seth personally, but from admiration and fierce loyalty toward Becky's journey and her impact on WWE history. WWE's quiet response and what it signaled. WWE stayed silent on the circulating rumors, choosing not to address private conversations or debunk every piece of fan speculation. And while some interpreted this silence as confirmation, it was more likely a sign of respect for Becky and Seth's personal lives, with the company focusing on adjusting creative plans rather than feeding an online controversy born from unverified sources. How social media turns rumors into storylines. This entire situation revealed how social media can transform whispers into headlines, where fan edits, speculative tweets, and fictional clips can snowball into narratives that feel like official WWE angles, blurring the line between kayfabe and reality to the point where even dedicated fans struggle to distinguish storytelling from truth, proving how modern digital culture has changed the way wrestling stories unfold. The real working relationship between Seth, Becky, and creative. Those who were actually present backstage describe a collaborative environment where Becky, Seth, and WWE's creative team communicated openly, made adjustments thoughtfully, and prioritized both family and career stability, showing that the real process, while less dramatic, was far more supportive and respectful than the viral rumors suggested, reflecting the maturity and professionalism of everyone involved. Why fans were drawn to this story so strongly. The intensity of fan engagement wasn't just about the pregnancy, it was about the longing for authenticity in an industry built on scripted narratives, because fans deeply crave moments that feel real, unfiltered, and human, and the possibility of a genuine emotional conflict between two beloved superstars tapped into that desire, even if the rumored moment itself was fictional. What this controversy teaches wrestling fans. This entire situation reminds fans to stay cautious of unverified leaks, to remember that performers are human beings with private emotions and decisions, and to consider how difficult it is for couples to navigate careers that demand constant travel, physical strain, and public scrutiny, emphasizing that moments of joy, tension, or uncertainty should be met with empathy instead of speculation. The bigger picture behind the viral debate. Even though the dramatic version of events wasn't real, it sparked meaningful conversations about work-life balance in wrestling, about how much pressure superstars carry behind the scenes, and about how easily personal moments become public narratives, showing that sometimes a controversy reveals more about fan culture than it does about the people involved.